I have to find something pink. Oh my goodness. Hey, Dee.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, to our guests, it has been a minute. We took a break for the summer. So I know Kim Lotz was over on Instagram. We told her to come over here, you guys. We tried to do both and we're getting a little echo. So join us after on Instagram. But for those of you, your first time joining, maybe first time seeing my page, I am Joyce Johnson, author, speaker, sales champion coach, and founder of Wise Sales Network. We are a company that train businesses and their employees on creating strategic sales plans. And we also have a women's conference coming up that we're going to tell you about. But we took the summer off to really refresh and get some things done, to work and deep dive and get a break. Honestly, just a little break. But we are back. We're back here for October. It is Breast Cancer Month. And I have this beautiful woman that joined me, Miss Dee Manuel Cloud. I always want to say I always want to say Dee Manuel McLeod, but it's Dee Manuel Cloud. How are you, Dee?
I am fantastic and only going to get better, Joyce. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on and share with you today. I'm super excited. I think we're going to share some great content.
I know we are. I know we are. Dee, from the moment that I met you, I mean, if you guys are looking at her and you're looking how beautiful she is, and her energy, her smile, she just lights up a room. And for the moment I met her, she was just lighting up the room. It has been such a pleasure to get to know you. And you're always like, hey, Joyce, what's up? What you got going on? I just love that. I just love people that, keep in touch and network and things. And so I really appreciate you for that.
Oh, thank you.
So, Dee, before we hop into really talking about breast cancer month and those things, I want you to take a minute, just introduce yourself to our audience.
Awesome sauce. So my name, as she shared, is Dee Manuel Cloud. I am a two-time breast cancer survivor, and I'm also the owner and CEO of Intentional Living Academy, which houses my signature program, Thriving on Purpose. And I work with ladies who are recovering from breast cancer and who are finding it challenging to move forward. And I work with them to move past the emotional bondage that breast cancer can put you in. Because it's like you ring the bell and then what? Everybody else is ready to go back to life as normal and you're stuck. Like life is never going to be normal again. At least that was my experience.
Wow. And you said a mouthful there, Dee, because I think you do ring the bell, right? And you have your family there with you when you ring the bell. I mentioned to you, I'm the daughter of a breast cancer survivor. My mother's 5 years cancer free. This year, July 17th, she rang the bell 5 years ago.
Yes.
And that's worth celebrating for sure. And I think that for me, I'm going to say for me, so from friends and family and your support group, I think when you rang that bell, we thought it was over.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's fair, right? I mean, because nobody, unless you're going through that experience, you can't know. And
Right.
I heard another thriver explain it so beautifully. She said, for people who have never gone through the breast cancer journey, imagine you're walking down the sidewalk and you're walking past a bush and somebody jumps out and attacks you, right? And now you're left with these injuries and these scars, and you're meant to go on with life as usual, except this bush is next to your home. So every time you walk past that bush, you have PTSD because you're thinking, what if it jumps out and gets me again? Right?
Wow.
That's what it's like living after breast cancer.
Wow. And you know what? And I, and that's, you just made that so real for me because like I said, my mother is 5 years cancer free. And I know sometimes, she still takes like a little pill or something and sometimes she feels a little tired or whatever. And she's always, before breast cancer, she blamed everything on Hurricane Ike. And so everything before breast cancer was about Hurricane Ike. I guess it got Ike. Ike did it. I'm
I
joking.
love it.
She's on a cruise, so she's not watching, but maybe some of her friends are. And so, but before then, she blamed everything on her. And now, in all seriousness, sometimes she just says she's tired, right? It's
Yeah.
just a little different. And
Yeah.
I think that every year that and so having this conversation with you, I realize now too, every year that she goes and get that exam, we're probably thinking, oh, she's going to get her breast cancer exam today, right? But she's probably thinking, I'm going to go get my breast cancer exam today, right?
Yes. Yes. It's my son made a reference yesterday. It was like to some people it's just like, oh, shiitake. And then to y'all, it's like, oh, shiitake, right? Like it's great. She's going to get it, and we know she's going to get it all clear. But for us that's going to get the test, it's doomsday every single time.
Every time. Every time. It's important that thank you for sharing that, right? I mean, it's already enlightened me and educated me. And so I'm sure some other people are being educated about it as well. But again, you guys, if you're our audience just joining us, I see a couple more people join us. And you guys feel free to put comments in the chat and I'll try to read them later. Dee, if you can read them, I don't know. But you guys know I don't like wearing my glasses on here. I'm such a mess. But again, we're back at Y Sales Network with our monthly webinars. We took a break for the summer. We're back here for October, the month of breast cancer. Thought it was great to have the conversation about my breast, my body, and me, right? And because it's our breast for us is a real personal thing, right?
Absolutely.
It's right up there with hair loss. I'm gonna throw that out there, just because I mean it's not equivalent, but you know I experience hair loss sometimes, right? Which is why I'm back in my braids and twists and things because I have hair loss issues, and so it's a real thing. And so, but for women with our breasts and our bodies, it's important that we go and we get checked every year. I definitely try to make sure I get checked every year. I have a great doctor who, my primary care doctor is great, but by the time he tells me my OBGYN done already said, look, go get it done.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I think for ladies, for you guys out there, if you haven't gone to get your breast check, and if you don't, because I don't do the self check often enough. How important is that?
That's extremely important. The majority of the women that I talked to found their own lump, right? That's how important it is. And when you think about the fact that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed and the majority of ladies are finding their own lumps, I found my own lump. Lots of ladies that I talk to find their own. So I always say you're going to be showering every day, right?
Mhm.
Anyway, so while you're in there, you're all soaked up and your hands are slippery and able to move freely. Go ahead and just rub them across your breast and get the check. You're already in there.
Right. Right. You know what? I'm thank you for that. Thank you for that because that's a note to self. I'm just learning. I knew this was going to be a learning conversation and I hope we have some men on here too that's joining us and talking about it and getting engaged as well because
Yes.
I want the men to be able to help and encourage women to make sure that we're doing our self exams like you said and that we are getting things done and especially and our single ladies to be able to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do some I know sometimes you have mates they do your breast exam for you and so but you need to do it on your own and get
Well,
used to
no, it's
your
it's it's interesting that you mentioned that. My cousin, her partner found hers.
yes, a lot of times your mate does your breast exam for you or find your lump on your breast and things. But I think again, as women and our bodies, it's important that we find that. And as of late, we've seen more men with breast cancer,
Yep. Yep.
right? I believe Matthew knows had breast cancer.
I now see that's a shock to me. I was not aware of that.
Uh-huh. And so it's important, that, don't quote, well, I'm gonna look it up now for sure to make sure that's what it was, but I believe that's what it was because I was surprised by it. And I seen, and there's this TV show, oh my goodness, it's a television show that comes on, and it's a guy on that show that had breast cancer, and now his breast cancer is back. And
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of the name of that show. It's on one of the major networks. And okay, I'll think about it and tell you guys. It's not on right now, but I think about tell you guys. But so it's just a very real thing that we all yes, I think the percentages are higher for women,
Mhm.
and we are more vocal about
Mhm.
it. But I also think you men need to think about it as well and make sure that you are checking your bodies and seeing for breast cancer also.
I think that's a very interesting fact that you just shared. The fact that women are diagnosed at a higher rate.
Hmm.
One thing that I want to share for my African American sisters, my Black women, is we are white women are diagnosed as a high at a higher rate, but we're more likely to die from it because we're not getting checked. And so usually when breast cancer is found in us in Black women, it's found at a much later stage. So early detection is key. So I want to go back to check yourself. Like you're already in the shower, you're already soaked up. It's only going to take you a minute, not even a minute to check each breast. Like it's worth it.
Not even a minute, ladies. Let's get it done. It won't even take us a minute. So I am, oops, I was trying to put something else in here. But Dee, so if you don't mind, reshadow and impose, if you don't mind resharing, what what did you think when you found your lump?
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to share. I'm here in the
Okay.
hopes that something that I share resonates with somebody else and it prevents somebody else from having to go through the things that I went through. So
Okay.
I was 35, which at the time was considered very young to be diagnosed with breast cancer. But I remember I felt a sharp pain in my left breast, which was uncommon. Pain in the site is uncommon. So I always say I was blessed, right? And I remember reaching up to the site of the pain and feeling the lump. Well, I didn't waste any time. I called my doctor anyway, right away and was like, I feel something that isn't supposed to be there. And so I went in, he did a physical exam and then sent me in for a mammogram. And from the mammogram, we went to the biopsy. And from the biopsy, it was like, yeah, it's stage 2 inductal carcinoma. And I don't know, Joyce, it just kind of went numb after that, right? Like, okay, what happens now? And I think that one of the things that a lot of breast cancer thrivers talk about is the guilt, right? Like you start to, did I do something to cause this? Did I, what could I have done differently? I didn't have that the first time around. The first time around, I was so busy sticking my head in the sand that I just let the doctors do whatever they were going to do. I like to say they fixed the disease in my body, but I did nothing about the disease in my life. I'm like, let's just get back to life as normal,
Mhm.
even though I knew life wasn't working. Like I was under a tremendous amount of stress. I was in a marriage I wasn't happy in, but I didn't want to leave my then husband because I didn't want to hurt him.
Mhm.
And I was working a job that stressed me out to no end, but it paid well. So I was committed to get my coins, right?
Yes.
And then I wasn't living as my authentic self, right? I wasn't living true to my sexuality. So I just had a lot going on, but I didn't address any of those things. And what's interesting is when I talk to, there has not been one breast cancer survivor that I've talked to um, who hasn't had some type of story, some type of crisis that was going on at the time of her diagnosis. So I'm a firm believer that our stress levels have a lot to do with it. Breast cancer is a very multifaceted disease. We can't point to any one thing that causes it. Everything that
Right.
I read suggests that it's a collection of things. So when I look at how I was living then and the fact that I was eating whatever I wanted to eat, I was very sedentary, like I didn't, have a lot of movement going on. And I was
Right.
stressed out. So I'm sure all of those things just created the perfect storm.
Oh, I better get myself together because y'all know I went and never mind. They from a food truck last night and just after I left the gym. But no, and I live a highly stressful life all the time, and so it's self-induced. It is self-induced
Well,
trauma.
most stress is a lot of time. I mean, when you think about the fact that we are the captains of our ship, most stress is self-induced because we have the capacity to change it. Nobody else has the capacity to change it for us but us.
Absolutely. We have to make that decision and really hopefully before, we detect those things. And I think some things, it was for us, right? And
Right,
whether it was for us to
absolutely.
make us stronger, whether it was for us just, out of, hereditary or, just whatever it is. But it's how we approach it, how we take it. I've lost two very good friends to other forms of cancer. And so cancer has just been something that has, I think that has touched everyone's life.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I think it's touched everyone. I don't think anyone has us that in there's I don't think there's anyone that couldn't share a story.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
So how did you push through emotionally?
I didn't the first time. The first time I didn't push through emotionally. I pushed down. I pushed everything down and I just kept going with life as usual. And that was in 2005. And I'm a firm believer, and I share this all the time, that I'm a firm believer that lessons that we don't learn, we have to repeat. And they may look the same way or they may look different, but we're going to repeat those lessons. And I talk about that often. Like if you're somebody who has a problem talking about money, you're always going to have to talk about money. Like somebody's going to always owe you money. You're going to have to
Right.
ask for it or what have you. So when it came back in 2008, it was my nurse who said, okay, Dee, you need to reduce your stress. Now, I don't know how she knew I was stressed because I certainly didn't tell her, right? I wasn't trying to tell anybody about everything that I had, that I knew I had going on.
Yeah.
But this time, cancer had my full attention. And so I blew up my life. It made me face my fears. And I did all of the things I was afraid to do. I owned my sexuality. I asked for a divorce. I left the job and took a job making less money. But at the end of the day, I had to ask myself, is any of these things that I'm afraid to do worth my life? And the answer is always going to be no.
Whoa. Oh, that's some. Oh, you just gave me a chill. That or any of these things worth your life? No,
Right.
right? And just absolutely not. And I share that with people. That I've just always been fortunate and blessed, and thank God for that. But I'm not afraid to walk away, and I've walked away from some things, right?
Absolutely.
I've walked away from some things. I'm not
Absolutely.
attached to anything material or anyone for that matter, other than my mama. And so, my mother. And so, it's like you sometimes that, when you said that, you have to ask yourself, when you're feeling with any illness, really, you have to
Yes.
ask yourself, and I have to ask myself sometimes with stress, like what, I was hosting a women's room in Clubhouse, and I reviewed the book, One Word to Change Your Life. And so when we went back to do the one word, my word was surrender. And so I'm asking myself all the time, Lord, what is it that I need to surrender?
Mm, I
Right?
like that. I like that. My one word is lesson. I'm always leaning in and saying, okay, God, what's the lesson?
What's
Because
the
I know
lesson?
there's a lesson here. So what is it? Because I want to know the lesson so I don't have to repeat it.
When you said that, I thought, I was like, oh my goodness, I hope I don't repeat it. I immediately thought of a couple that God may have me repeat and that I just really don't want anything to do with them. It's like, okay, let me see if I learn my lesson, and let me write down how I learned that lesson, so that the
So we
universe
can be
knows
clear
that
that I don't.
so to be clear, I don't need to go back and learn that lesson again.
Okay, go on and give me my A plus on this lesson right here, Lord Jesus. I'm
Yes.
good.
Okay. Because one thing I do try to do is learn. I share people all the time. I love taking personality assessments and things like that tell us a little bit about who we are and how we process and how we do things, right? And I tell people, I say, I know Joyce Johnson very well. I like her. She's a very cool girl, and so I really try to be in tune with myself, with my mind, with my body, with my heart, you know
Yes. Yes.
and so and when I'm making decisions, and when I need to shift, because sometimes you need to shift, and I tell people, don't be afraid to shift. Yes, it's painful, like you said. You have to blow up your world
Yeah.
so you can feel better.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all
And
see the glow, but it worked.
but listen, in the beginning it was quite scary. I'm not going to
Sure.
even lie, because you as a breast cancer survivor, and for me and many women like me, you are never the same. There is no way you come out of something that life changing and you're the same. In like I can't imagine that anybody comes out the same as before. But not only that, like for me, living with the new scars, and now I'm asking to be single, right? Which means I got to get back out in these dating streets, right? And so you are concerned that, like, so when do I bring up the fact that I had breast cancer? Because is a future partner going to be concerned that the cancer could come back? Is a future partner going to be turned off by the scars? Is the future partner, like, so you have all of these things to contend with also, and emotionally it can really run a toll on your mental, right? And so I really had to get to a place of loving every part of me, And I'll be really vulnerable and share what got me to that place. I remember, I'll tell you a story. I went to hedonism in Jamaica with some girlfriends on a girl trip.
Oh, nice.
And we went to the topless beach, right? And it was optional. You could be topless or not in this particular beach. And so they were all taking off their tops, and I got all these scars, and I didn't finish my reconstructive surgery because I got tired of them poking and prodding on me. So the end of the surgery, the last thing they do is the tattoo of the nipple, right? Well, I was like, you know what? I'm sick of y'all poking on me, so no, I don't want a nipple. I'm just rolling with it like this, right? And we got there, and all of my girlfriends are taking off their tops, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Joyce, this woman walked by me, and I swear she gave me my freedom papers.
Oh my God.
She had one arm, and she was topless and living her best life. Honey, I took that top off so fast. I was like, you know what? She gave me my freedom papers, and it was then that I learned to just love myself, flaws and all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I heard you say too that you said mentioned a couple of times you said in your journey that you owned your sexuality.
Yes.
How did you think that released some stress from your life?
Oh man, I felt free. And
Mhm.
I remember that I made a Facebook post around about that time, and I shared that I'd never felt so free in my life. And I lost some friends. Me and my mom fell out because my mom was super religious.
Mhm.
And so, she just was very point blank that she didn't think it was right. She couldn't accept it. She couldn't deal with it. I lost some really close, I had some breakdowns in friendships, and it was hard, right?
Mhm.
But again, I had to ask myself, like, even with my mom, she's lived her life. She lived her life doing what she thought was best for her. And
Mhm.
so I had to do the same. I had to live my
Right.
life and do what was best for me. And the first time when I was dealing with all of that, it was more about the kids, more about the husband,
Mhm.
and about what everybody would say if I blew up my life and lived as my authentic self. But I read something that was very, very profound, and it
Mhm.
said, kids do better with two happy parents who are apart than two miserable parents who are together. And they're resilient. And I was very, very blessed that when I did own my sexuality, my daughter was still very young, and I don't think she got it. But
Right.
my son was just like, I just want you to be happy,
Mhm.
and he was about 16 at the time.
Mhm.
So that was a blessing that I didn't have any drama with my teenager.
Right.
Like I count
Right.
all my blessings, but I call breast cancer my blessing because it made me face my fears. It made me live as my authentic self. And what I will tell you is that from that point on, life has only continued to get better and better and better. I married the love of my life and my best friend, and she is so super amazing. Let me tell you something. I won. I hit the lottery.
This is my virtual hand clap that I do. My virtual hand clap. Do
I
that. My
like
kids
it.
do this all the time.
It's so prissy and diva. I wouldn't expect anything else from you, Joyce.
But I want to touch on that really fast, and thank you for sharing that because I think it's important for you to, like you said, live your life and be your authentic self, right?
Hmm.
And to be who you are. And I can't imagine living life and not being able to be who you are, right?
Absolutely.
And I've had friends that have, who have decided, and it's so funny because it's funny people sit you down, they want to tell you, right? And they tell me, I was like, okay, it's like, what do you expect something? I mean, like, you still a
Right.
good person, right? You still love
Right.
me, I still love you, right? We still girls, or guys,
Hey,
whatever. And
absolutely.
so I think it's, if I can just share with people who experience that, and I know it can be challenging for a parent, right? I know it can be challenging for a parent because they're worried about how people are going to see their children, attack their children. The world, just so much different things on different level. But if I say, someone for a friend, you know, and even a parent, people don't change. You've been loving this person the day before.
Right.
The
Well,
person,
and I
you know,
think for me, I had to learn that I had to kind of meet them where they are in the sense that so many people have been raised in the church, and they have this belief system that teaches them that homosexuality is the ultimate sin and all of those things. And so until you seek knowledge for yourself and you're like, they're living true to their beliefs. And so I think what I'm trying to
Absolutely.
say is the same way that I want them to respect me, I have
Mhm.
to respect them in their beliefs. But what I do
Absolutely.
know about myself is that I'm the friend you want in your corner. So I was okay just backing
Me
up and
too.
saying, I was okay just backing up saying, I know the value that I add. And so if you're willing to let that go because of who I love, that has absolutely nothing to do with you, then, maybe it was just meant for us to
Maybe
dissolve.
it's just
But
meant, yeah.
those
But I love
friendships,
that you said that though, respecting them and meeting them where they are. I mean, that's important also. But I
absolutely,
also just have to encourage, people to really, with, you know, sit with themselves, sit with
absolutely,
themselves on that, right?
absolutely.
So, but thank you for sharing your story. I have one here, D. I have I have your name here that cancer, survivor. I have survivor on here. So, I want to change that up a little bit, right? I want to change that up a little bit. We're going to change the narrative a little bit. Um, let me see here. Let me create something else here. Let me create something else here. Y'all know I'm challenged.
Now
I,
you've been doing it today. You have been on
I,
it.
haven't I been doing it? I've been doing the thing today, right? Look, while I'm talking, let me now I'm not getting it right. Okay.
I love you too,
Okay, let me see.
bestie.
I'm doing this. Oh, you see, okay.
What you
So
doing,
now
girl?
I'm gonna switch up a little bit.
Hey, we love to see it.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yes, my book. We're expecting that book to drop on Black Friday.
Wow. Okay.
And the title of the book is Beauty in the Breakdown, Finding Peace in the Midst of Life's Disruptions. And I just talk about in the book how everything that is happening for your highest good, even when it doesn't seem like. We develop like a beautiful portrait. We do our best developing in the dark.
Yes. And hey, you guys are saying hey, and I see my cousin Chess is on. I beauty in the breakdown. I mean, I just love the title of it, right?
Oh, thank you.
Because I tell people all the time, I host this room on Fridays at Clubhouse, and the whole thing about that room is that it's celebrate your wins on Fridays, and it's because we spend so much time. For me, I when I'm teaching something, 9 out of 10 is something Joy's been thinking about and dealing with. So I just think that we spend so much time getting to the end result and what we want and checking all our boxes of what we want to accomplish in our goals in life that we forget to celebrate the milestones.
Mm,
We forget, even if we don't get to that end game that we want to go, we there were some things that we did that impacted some lives of others or impacted our lives or changed who we were at our core that is worth celebrating.
I agree.
And so what I share with my college students, I'm speaking to them all the time, is that there is joy in the journey.
Yeah, I like that.
There's joy in the journey, right? And so when I got your title, Beauty and the Breakdown, so give us just a little bit. Give us a half of a story and leave us hanging. You can tell me in the Bahamas for those that's not coming to. You tell me the rest of it in the Bahamas and give us just a bit of the storyline behind that title.
So I think that the one of the things I had to learn to own out, even just outside of my sexuality, is learning to embrace how I grew up, right? And I used to be so angry at my parents because I just kind of felt like they didn't give me their best, right? But when I became a parent, I realized that best looked different for everybody, right? You know, and so
Yes.
I remember just growing up, and you're from Galveston, so you're familiar with Houston, and there's the Fofo Acres Home,
Acre
um,
homes, the fofo.
Acres on Fofo, Texas. So I grew up in Acres Home, Texas, and what I remember the most is how many people counted me out, right? And how often I was told that I wouldn't amount to anything. And I had my own auntie tell me that I wouldn't amount to anything, and I would just be somebody who had a whole bunch of babies and would end up on the system. Now, how she got there, I don't know, because it's like I don't even really care for kids like that.
Wow.
But it
She was having a bad day.
but it was something that I had to overcome along with many other people just always telling me that I was you're too loud, you're too ghetto, you're too all the twos, right? And so learning to really just embrace who I am and be my authentic self was hard. And so I talk about that in the book and how, you really have to get to a place of self-love and accepting yourself as you are and not having to try to conform to who people think you should be to be accepted.
Mm, mm. You know, it's funny how people, when we're kids, we have to, as women now, we have to be grateful for the strength that we found to move forward,
Absolutely.
right? I remember a counselor telling me that I would never be anything more than someone's admin, so she put me in typing. You need to go to typing and take typing. You never be more than anybody's admin. I am so grateful to her for that, because there's been two key times in my life that I got a job because I could out type everybody, right? Thank you, girl.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for thank you for the assist.
Thank you for the setup. Thank you. When I went to college, I was able to get a job over all the guys standing in line in the athletic department. And I got my job that landed me in sports information. I still have those women that loved on me and mentored me. They're still in my life
Absolutely.
today. And then I remember I was getting my job for the Houston Rockets. They came in there, they needed someone that could type this amount of words a minute and know this particular program and everything. And I was like, I'm your girl.
That's the beauty
Thank
in the
you.
breakdown.
You
So
know,
what was it Celia said in The Color Purple, the grave you dig for me gonna be the one you ride in. Like
you
you don't get to speak over other people's lives. And so but
know.
that's what I talk about in the book, just the beauty in the breakdown. Like I didn't want necessarily know that typing would set me up for all these other successes
Mhm.
in the end. I didn't know that cancer would set me up. Like it was because of breast cancer that I even got into real estate investing, right?
Mhm.
Because here I am now, I've had it twice. So I'm considered high risk, which means I can't get life insurance, but I got these two kids. And
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, so what do I do? Because what if it comes back? And I got this, in my mind, this window that I'm working in because I had 3 years
Right.
before it came back this last time. So breast cancer just it set me up for so many wins. Building that rental portfolio, that was not something I would have done probably, but for breast
Mhm.
cancer and trying to make sure that I had something to leave my kids where they wouldn't have to, sell fish plates to bury me if they shouldn't come
Right.
back.
Oh, they don't do fish plates anymore. It's GoFundMe.
Oh, my bad.
Well, in our day and time, it's some fish
It
plates,
was
right?
fish plates.
Yeah, it was
Listen,
fish
my family, we we from Acres Home. My brothers don't even know how to work a computer. They're gonna still be selling barbecue and fish plates.
I'm gonna go get one. I'm gonna get one. Or buy one for somebody else.
There you go.
I love that, and I love that, and I encourage you guys to bookmark it. Don't forget to go and put your author's page on Amazon. A lot of people don't. I have an author's page on Amazon, and a lot of people don't know you can do that. So when you people go to my author's page, it has all of my books, has different photos of me. I probably need to update a few of them. I got some fun photos, got my serious photos, but don't forget to create your author's profile. Matter of
Okay.
fact, you can do it now and
Okay.
announce your book coming up later.
Okay.
Then
Thank
that
you for that tip.
Yes. Yeah, of course. And then you can be able to share out to people that your book is coming. They can do pre-orders, right? And so you can do pre-orders on Amazon, and you can set it up that way. If you don't want to ship books yourself, if you don't mind sending books yourself, you can set up just a flat landing page. I did this, I think on my first book, you used to do a flat landing page about your book and about yourself, and you send people to that landing page. They pre-order their books, right? So all the books are pre-ordered, and as they come in, you autograph them and you send them out,
Us. See, dropping the nuggets.
right? So now you sell thousands of dollars in books before your book even come out.
I love it. I'm gonna get on top of that, especially before I'm trying to get that done for sure before I get to the Bahamas.
Yes, do that. Get your author page, and that way you can be able to share the link out with people. If you want to do a landing page on your own, like I said, so you can personalize it, my first book, I want to personalize everything. I want to mail it out to everyone, and people pay the little
Yeah.
shipping fee, and they'll pay a little extra for the book because it's autographed too, right?
Yes.
So you can
Awesome
do
sauce.
that. But now when I write a book, I'm like, they can do the pre-orders on on Amazon. Matter of
But you got a
fact,
lot of irons in the fire now, Miss Johnson.
well, really, what happened was, as happy and excited I was about doing that, it became a lot of work because I traveled so much,
Hmm.
right? And so I didn't want people getting books late. People buy something online, they want it right away. So
Right.
that's the story. So if you don't have time to get them out right away and things, maybe even just do the because right now people go to my website and my books are for sale. It actually, when they click on the book, it takes them to Amazon.
Okay.
They don't get it from me. It takes them to Amazon. So either way, there's it's great for both. And then you can also order some books that you can take copies with you when you go places. Sometimes when I have business meetings, and if it's about sports, I take my Why Sales for Athletes. If it's about business, I may take my business co-author book, or I just take a different book, and you'll be
Yes.
surprised. People really appreciate you just hand them a book and sign it.
Awesome. Come
Yeah.
on, tips. Thank you
Yeah.
for the nuggets, Joyce. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. So you guys, it's been author. So we've had we got the different faces of D. Okay, so we've had the survivor D that we've talked about today, and then we've also had make sure I'm at my banners. Yes, because I went over to trying to read the other stuff, and we've had our author D. Okay,
Oh, they're being so sweet in the comments. I love y'all.
what did he say?
I see. So some of them haven't signed in, so I don't know who it is, but we have, yeah, I think Tess is your cousin. She was sharing that is good. And we have a Facebook user, I can't see their name, saying that's good
Oh,
information. Tess
thank you
said, set
guys.
the captives free. Deslin said, hey, Joyce. We have
Hey.
another. We have another Facebook user that says, congratulations, Dee. Keep being yourself. Girl, you are wonderfully amazing. I receive it. Somebody said, Joyce, you look absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we have another Facebook user that said, I love your spirit, D. Can't wait to see you in the Bahamas. Likewise, Bahama Mama's on me.
Yes, come on over to the Bahamas. Yeah,
And Deslin said, I love to see melanin collaborations.
yes. Thank you, Dee, for reading those. And
My
so
pleasure.
now we're talking to speaker
Speaker
Dee
D.
Manuel Cloud.
I love all the hats. I love them. I like to switch hats like I switch wigs. Let's do it.
Now we're speaking this. We went from survivor to author. Now we're with the speaker.
Oh, I
So
love it.
thank you so much for agreeing to join me in the Bahamas. I'm so appreciative of that. Y Sales Network, we launched in 29, very end of 2019, and we wanted to have our first conference on Bimini Island in the Bahamas, but then COVID hit. So we had to scramble up really fast, and we had to order green screens and all type of stuff, and take our conference live virtually from my home. And then we had to do it again last year. And while we are doing it last year, the air conditioner broke. It was just a mess.
Oh,
But no one knew any different because we executed flawlessly. The team executed flawlessly on that. It was amazing. And so this year we normally have the conference in June, and I plan to go back to June, you guys, for those of you want to know. And but this time we're October next week, 20th through 23rd. We are in the Bahamas at the beautiful Margaritaville Beach Resort. Every room is an oceanfront room. I mean, it's just when you open your door to your bedroom at that hotel, you're looking at the ocean. You're
yes.
looking at the ocean. And Dee is coming. She's going to be speaking. She's going to be talking her topic about her book and sharing her story. So, Dee, what gave you? So you just what gave you? I don't know, that inner strength power to say, I'm just going to go start. I'm going to start speaking. I'm going to be a speaker also.
You know what, Joyce? I have ran my mouth my entire life. And I didn't like, even when I was looking at professional speakers,
Mhm.
I didn't know any speakers personally. So the goals seemed like insurmountable to me. It didn't like seem like something that would be attainable for the little girl from the fofo, right?
Right.
And I remember during the pandemic, I saw an ad that said learn to be a professional speaker. And I clicked on it and the rest is history. Like I absolutely love sharing nuggets. I absolutely love sharing wisdom. I love talking to people. I am a people person, a people magnet. Like I
Yeah.
just love meeting people. So speaking just seems second nature to me. And what's so funny is when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a performer. I wanted to be the next Janet. I wanted to be Janet, right?
You not a singer, D?
Well, I'm good for a little something in the shower.
Don't tell me you're not a singer because I'll have you singing on demand. I'm like, D, sing me a song.
And but what's so interesting is I thought that I would have as a little girl I thought I would have a career using my voice. And what's so awesome is that I get to have a career using my voice.
Ah, D Beyonce speaker.
Beyonce and whatnot.
Love it, love it. And we met actually with speaking engagement. We both
Yes.
had speaking, and you're excited about it. I'm always, people don't really know this about me, but I'm like right on the borderline of intro and extro, and people wouldn't be like, nah, but I am. I'm right on that borderline of intro and extro. So I always, just saw myself as a professional who speaks versus a professional speaker. So I went to like yourself, and I took a professional speaking class from one of my mentors, Walter Bond. He's someone I had an opportunity to work with the NBA Retired Players Association, and he's a phenomenal speaker. He's so dynamic. I mean, and when he's speaking, I'm like smiling and laughing the whole time. Like when he's done, my face hurts. And I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it like him.
Yes.
Right? I'm like, I want to fill people up. If I want to do it,
Yeah.
and my topic's a little different because I'm always talking sales. So that's a little different.
No, that's talking money though.
That's right. That's right. And so, but I do try to, I do, I'll say, I'll try. I bring the energy.
Right.
Yeah. I bring the energy. Do I bring the energy?
You bring all the class. I can tell you that much.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. So, and so I'm always, I always admire people who are willing to get up there and speak. And I think for us, and, probably you too, when I say this, probably resonate with you. My brother always says that the reason that he and my sister and I, we would just get up and speak in front of a crowd of people, we had to do it in church all the time. We grew up in a small church. So you had to get up and you had to do the announcements, the youth voice, the welcome, whatever those people told you to get up and do that Sunday, you had to do. Did you grow up speaking in the church also?
Girl, no. I just told you we was
No.
from Acres Home Fofo. I grew up singing in the
churches in
Jew.
the
I grew up singing in the Jew joint with my mama.
We have churches in the fofo.
That's not my mama was not taking me to church. My mama was taking me to the cafe.
Okay. All right.
But
But in that cafe, you learn to be comfortable standing up and
I
performing.
learned to be comfortable. I have never been shy because I was never given the chance to be shy. I was the kid, baby, do that dance for me. Baby, sing that song for me. So I didn't have I didn't get a chance to be shy.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? Again, we're going to hop over to Instagram for about 10 minutes. So if you guys want to join us on the gram, we're going to hop over to Instagram too. But if you, hey, some people just make it happen type people. I want people, I don't need a whole lot of time to plan. If I want to go somewhere, I'm going to go. So if you guys want to join us in the Bahamas, let me put the link up for that.
And while you do that, Joyce, Desmond wants to know if you went to Shiloh AME.
No, I did not. I went to a smaller church. I went to Gethsemane Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay.
With Reverend Joel S. Sissom back in the day. It's Reverend Timothy Sykes now, who is actually one of my classmates, but he older than me. So if y'all know how old he is, don't judge me. He's the one.
He old, not us.
Yeah, he's old, not me, right? But if you guys, I hope I got this right. If you guys want to join us in the Bahamas, the link to it is itsourtime.eventbrite. I'm trying to type and get it done right.com. So join us. We love to have you guys in the Bahamas. There's still time to join us. And we're just going to have a great time. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the run of the trip, right? So Thursday night, and I don't know what made me do this. My friends were pressuring me to do a theme. I don't do good with themes. And so I just named, Thursday night, little black dress night. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't even have a little black dress, right? I got some black dresses. I don't have a little black dress. And then I have Friday night. So Thursday night will be up on the rooftop, and we'll just be having a good time, enjoying the view, having some wine, some hors d'oeuvres and things. As I mentioned, everyone who booked the hotel package, it came with the chill lounge. And so the chill lounge, if you guys want to go in there during the day and just relax and have a good time, you can do that. There's drinks in there. It's actually drinks you can pour your own drinks. Sometimes you go into those lounges, they're fixing the drink for you. No, you can pour your own drink. But we'll be on the rooftop Thursday night and just kind of getting to know each other and saying, hey, welcome to the Bahamas. On Friday morning, like I said, I wasn't going to start early. But the hotel did send me the schedule for those who want to do morning yoga. And Gapri is excited. She wants to do morning yoga and meditation with everyone. So I will probably watch the sunrise because I love a good sunrise if I'm not having to work on final details. But you guys can go do that with her. Then we're going to kick off. And Kim's going to kick us off with the heart note. You guys know I created that. I need to go and patent it or something. But I created, the heart note. We do that for every event that I have now. We do a heart note. And on Friday, we're just going to talk about what we need to let go of. We're going to talk about, the journey. We're going to talk about the pain of our journeys. We're going to talk about the beauty in our journeys. We're going to discuss what we need to let go of, what we need to add to, and different things like that. And we're just really going to, love on each other. And the speakers are going to, be about those topics. We got the girlfriends therapist with us, Nettie Jones. So she really is going to probably have all y'all over there crying and everything, makeup all messed up and stuff. And then that evening, that Friday night, we're going to wear Bahamas blue. And I picked Bahamas blue because we're in Bahamas one, but I think the photos are going to be fabulous. It's a color that looks great on everyone.
I agree.
That color looks great on everyone. And so we're going to do Bahamas blue that night. We're going to have a fabulous dinner, and we are going to read the little note that we wrote to our 12-year-old selves or something. And then we're going to let it go, let it go. And so we're hoping to have a fire pit. They said the sand may not be stable enough for us to actually have dinner on the beach, but we'll be somewhere close by. And then, the Bahamas, they don't play that. You can't release those balloons in the air. They're like, oh, no, ma'am. But we're going to have a time.
Turtles around here.
It's going to be beautiful. We got this lady. She coming and doing drums and everything. We're going to have a lot of excitement going on. And then Saturday morning, we'll start. And on Saturday, it's all about business, building our business, what we can do to enhance our business, those things, all about business. I'm going to talk some about sales on Saturday. I wasn't going to do it. I was like, oh, I don't want to talk about my own conference. But I feel like if I don't talk about sales and I don't give people those partners and the sales skills, then I'm selling you guys short, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that on Saturday as well. And from there, we're going to end early. So it's little black dress night, Bahamas blue, and then do you. Because when you guys out in the Bahamas on Saturday night, it's all about whatever it is you want to do. If you want to enjoy the city, if you want to go to the fish fry, if you want to go to Bahamar to the casino, if you want to go to Atlantis to the casino, if you want to go to any of the amazing dinner places that they have. Simone Bowe, who is who's going to close us out. Kim Gagne is going to close us out on Friday. Simone's going to close us out on Sunday. I kind of switched things up a little bit, so I got to get that out right away. But Simone is putting together, she's from the Bahamas, so she's putting a little book of places we can go and hang out and stuff. And for those who are staying on the island a little bit longer on Sunday, you have the option of joining us for brunch over at JWB's, which is one of my favorite places. And of course, there'll be bottomless mimosas. I mean,
what's brunch without bottomless mimosas?
What's bottomless mimosas without brunch is really what we're the brunches go with the bottomless mimosas. It's not the other way around. But anyway, so that's, our conference for this year. Super excited about it. And like I said, we're switching up. Do we have some more notes? We have some more
notes? Yes. So Kim said, that was me, Joyce. I was the one that did everything in church. And I think that's also Kim. She says she is so ready for the Bahamas. And she says, if you have not registered, you need to go register. It's going to be life.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? And for a while, the tickets were a little extreme. So United is no longer flying direct to the Bahamas unless from Houston, unless it's on a Saturday. But you hop over on Southwest to Fort Lauderdale. From Fort Lauderdale, take Bahamas Air or Western Air over to the Bahamas. Come back. You do have to get to the airport for Lauderdale. I tell people this: you got to go out, check out, get your luggage, and then check back in for your international flight. But it's well worth it. And it's not a bad trip. You know, it's a small airport, so it's easy to manage and get around there. And I've done it many times. Just don't forget to go back and get your luggage. That's, people have told me I went to Fort Lauderdale and I forgot to get my luggage. I went right on. It's like, no, no.
Oh, Lord
Yeah,
Jesus.
I know. Don't forget, when you get to Fort Lauderdale, if you're not on one of those flights to go all the way through, you actually have to check out, go get your luggage, and then check back in. So, and that can be, so make sure you give yourself a little bit more time to do that as well. But don't, as women, I've had people texting me even today. I really want to go. I got to make sure the children are doing this. Okay, I got to make sure, see my husband's schedules. I got to do this. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just take care of you. Invest in you.
Invest in you. Take care of you.
For you.
Put
You
your
have
mask
to
on
stay,
first.
right? Best parents are happy parents. Best mommy is a mommy who takes some time for herself, who's not wore out tired, who's taking time to go to Bahamas and take the edge
Absolutely.
off, to take
Absolutely.
a nap. When last time you
Absolutely.
took a nap?
Yes.
I
Yes.
already
And come back
started.
refreshed and rejuvenated and ready to take on the kids and the spouse and the job and all, but just take a break.
Take a break, and I've already said I'm going to start late so you can take a break, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to start out early in the morning, have you down there at 7 o'clock in the morning looking for coffee and bacon. I'm not going to do it.
I'm baking.
That's what happened at those conferences. People down there early in the morning looking for coffee and bacon. They do, and if you don't have it, they get upset. If you don't have
I
it,
would
they get
definitely be
upset.
looking for some coffee for sure. They don't.
Yeah,
The morning don't start without a little cup of brew.
go to the chill lounge. Like I said, it comes with all our passes, and so you'll go in there, get some coffee, get some bacon. They don't have a
George,
bacon.
you didn't talk about this VIP service down to the airport though.
Oh well, that's just for the speakers.
See?
Well, you guys. Okay, you guys know that I have great relationships sometimes on some days with the Bahamas. Have great relationship with the Bahamas. I have business partner Marvin there. I do a lot of consultative and different programs in the Bahamas. So Bahamas tourism. My great friend here in Houston, Joyce Johnson. He always got my back. He put me on a call with their groups people, and they said, what can we do for you? So I got a call today to go over to their gallery office tomorrow and to pick up these gift bags they put together for the speakers. And I think he even said they were going to have some Bahamas rum for y'all. I'm like, rum? Y'all
Yes.
may not get that rum. That rum was on my suitcase.
Don't do us like
Yeah,
that,
he's
George.
like, I think he said, I think when you get there, they're going to drop off some rum cake and some rum. I'm like, what? But
Yes.
so just I wanted them to send it all there so I wouldn't have to carry it with me. So, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go pick up the bags. And then they said, well, when your speakers come in, we're going to meet them at the airport and we're going to take their passports and and their admission form and we're just going to walk them through. Yes, yes.
Classy.
We're just going to
Classy.
walk them through. We're going to walk them through so they don't have to stand in line. We're going to help them downstairs get their baggage. And then, and then out to transportation. And then for our speaker, Simone right now is working on, transportation to the hotel. And so, yeah, so you guys can get a VIP entry into the Bahamas.
Yes. 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 It's gonna feel so special.
So that's what's going down in the Bahamas, right? So, you know, they said, are you going to come back next year? And I was like, well, yeah, it depends on how you treat us this year. I guess so. But yeah, so
Definitely.
delivery is great, and they, the Bahamas folks and tourism office is great. Have good relationships with them, and they just want to make sure that we have a special time.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. If you haven't registered, you still have time. You deserve it. That's all I'm going to say. Choose you for a change. Choose you.
Choose you, ladies. Choose you, and join us in the Bahamas.
Yes.
Well, we are at the top of our hour. But I just want to say time go by so fast. But thank you guys so much for joining us tonight and hanging in here with us. I so appreciate it. Dee, I can't say thank you enough. I want you guys
Oh,
to give Dee an applause. We had Dee, of course, I wanted her to have the conversation for breast cancer. She's a survivor. But then we talked about Dee, the author. We talked about Dee, the speaker. She told you a little bit about her as Dee, the mom, as the wife. And so thank you for just being so open and sharing, your life with us here today.
thank you, Kim. You're right. She says we are going to be feeling like celebrities. Yes, we are. It's a life I can get used
Yes,
to,
Kim.
Kim.
Yes, yes. Anything, you have to know me to know I love a VIP experience. I'm all about that VIP experience.
I love a good experience myself.
And so anytime I can deliver that for someone, I am super excited about it. And so I want to just make you ladies feel very special. I would get to the Bahamas on Monday, so I'll be there when you guys get there. And so
Awesome.
just really hope that you just want you ladies to have a beautiful time.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Super excited.
And hey, and you guys out there, still time. Invest in you. Invest in you. Give yourself, because if you don't, y'all know those kids gonna come get that money next week out your purse. They're gonna need some. So invest
The
invest
best
in you.
and the best trips are spontaneous trips. You still
Oh,
have 8 days. Like, go ahead and get it done. Come on, Daisy. You know you need a break.
yes. Come on over and join us in the Bahamas. I told my cousin Tess, she didn't come in. Tess, go over there and get your reservation. Come on to the Bahamas.
Come
But
on to the
thank you
Bahamas.
guys. Again, you've been listening to myself, Joyce Johnson, author, speaker, sales champion, coach, and founder of Y Sales Network. Um, we're back with our monthly webinars. Join us back next month for a webinar as well. And I just appreciate you guys joining. I appreciate you, Dee. And for that, we're going to say good night.
Good night. Are we heading
Good
over to
night.
Instagram? Are
Thank
you
you.
heading over to Instagram?
Yeah, well, we're going to get out of here first and then we'll head over.
All right.
All right, let's end.